Good morning, everybody. I wanted to do a quick video on how to stay safe in all these wildfires, how to maneuver around them, and if I'm going to Travelers CampFest 2018. Hey everybody, it's Robin with Creativity RV, and I wanted to get out a quick video on how to stay safe while all of us are going up to the hills with all of these rapidly changing wildfires. Now, I went up through Idaho Springs the other day, and I'm going to show you guys a tour of that later, so I'm going a little bit out of order. But on my way up, I actually went into the ranger station and interviewed a ranger about fire safety and thunderstorm safety. That's coming next. And I also interviewed the local police officers. I did a video on how to stay at rest areas along the way, and you guys may have seen some of the footage I got of the hazy mountains. Well, I went all the way up to the no-name rest area in Glenwood Canyon and was going to take a left down a small highway I had never been on to go through Aspen before I went to Travelers CampFest. But the morning I woke up, I did a search of that road, and it had a new wildfire that had sprung up right next to the road. So I'm going to show you guys in a second how I do those searches. Wildfires can change so rapidly, and I looked up some stuff on Wikipedia this morning. Wildfires can travel almost 7 miles an hour in the forest and 14 miles an hour in grasslands. So they're no joke. They can move really, really fast. And I was searching for information this morning on Travelers CampFest because I had seen some videos from like Pandamonium and Destination Open Road where they were leaving campsites a little bit early because of the smoke. And so I tried to go to the TCF Facebook page or website. I couldn't find any information, but Pandamonium was nice enough to put up a video yesterday of the site, and Kevin, the guy who's putting on Travelers CampFest, did comment it's still on and the rangers have his phone number to notify everybody if conditions change. So everybody should be fine to still go, but personally I have decided not to go. One of the things that helped me make my decision is that I spend the entire summer in forests, and I've spent a lot of time up here, and I've been in a lot of places where I'm there for a day and the wind shifts and it gets really smoky. I've seen ash in the air, and personally, you know, I've noticed that my allergies have gotten worse. My cat started snoring and sneezing, and when I looked at the map of where the TCF was going to be using my process to look at the wildfires, this is what I found. So go ahead and look up here. What I did is I go into Google Maps, just regular Google Maps on your phone. If you search for a place right now in Colorado, the wildfires automatically pop up around you. But I actually did a search for Clear Creek Reservoir wildfires, and I remember that in Pandemonium's video they showed a distant mountain that the smoke was coming over. So the closest fire to that event I found on the map, and it looked like it was about 11 miles away. And knowing how fast wildfires can move, I just decided for me it wasn't worth going this year, but I want to thank Kevin for putting it on. I'm sure it's a lot of work, and I hope I get to meet you, and I hope everybody else out there who doesn't spend all their time in the forest like I do goes. But for me, you know, I'm getting a little raspy and everything just having spent the last couple of months up here. So that's the decision that I made. But don't go away, because I want to tell you guys some stuff that I learned from the ranger and the police officer that I did not know about wildfire safety. First, I wanted to show you guys how I do one of those searches. Like I said, if you just go into Google, you'll see the wildfires. But all the states and the U.S. Forest Service has state websites with interactive maps where there are fires. So like you can see the Colorado one here. You can go in and look by county. I also found another one in New Mexico that was really similar. You can see it here. You can go in and go down and look at the fires, and they'll tell you how contained they are. I will put links for all the main sites below, but you can search by state. So you may have seen in the title, what the Duff. I had never heard the expression Duff, but when I went into the ranger station, I said, look, there's a lot of campers coming up here. How can they stay safe? She said, the one thing I would say is don't be without an internet signal. Check on the wildfires. And by the way, I recommend an app called Storm Radar. Here's a screenshot of it right here. It's free. I got it in the App Store. And the reason that I really like it is that it notifies me of changing weather conditions. Like when I did my stealth camping video in Boulder, all of a sudden I was in a tornado zone and I had no idea. And thanks to that pop-up, I was able to see that. I also get pop-ups if lightning is happening within 10 miles of me, and I found out lightning can travel 10 miles. Wait till you see that video. And if hail's coming and that sort of thing. So if I'm out on a hike, I can get back in, or, you know, batten down the hatches on my RV. So storm radar is great. So don't be without an internet signal. Get a good app to notify you. The ranger said also, you know, if you're without an internet signal and you're on Forest Service roads, just keep in mind that the Forest Service roads are the roads that they use to go up and put out the fires. So if you're a dispersed camper in the National Forest, try not to take the Forest Service roads that could be anywhere near a forest fire, because you may not get notified that there's a fire coming and you might be in the way if they need to get up there. But here's the thing that I learned about the Duff. The ranger said, you know, when you make a campfire ring with rocks, a lot of people clear out the pine needles until they get down to like soft dirt. I've done that. You've probably done that. What I didn't know is that you're supposed to dig down until you get to hard packed dirt, because there is something inside the dirt called duff. Now, duff is the vegetation that's fallen off the trees and the pine needles and leaves and stuff like that that's been breaking down. I always knew that the stuff that you can see on the surface could catch on fire, but this ranger told me that mixed into that soft dirt, underneath that are layers and layers of duff until you get down to the hard pack. So people make fires on the soft dirt and they think their fire's out, but the spark will get down into the duff. They don't see it, and then the fire will travel underground until it can get out. So I know, like a lot of you, I think that I'm pretty safe with my fires, but that made me rethink what I was doing. Also, when I was in Idaho Springs, I talked to a local guy at a convenience store about how the sheriff was going around and talking to businesses trying to get them to help with the fire safety. So I was on the lookout for a sheriff. I saw one, I waved him down, and I talked to him also about fire safety. And he said that the biggest problem he's having is that people are still wanting to shoot their guns up in the high country, even when there's a fire ban. And when I was watching one of Pandamonium's videos, when she first got to her site, which I think is where the TCF is, people were complaining that they heard gunshots at 1 o'clock in the morning, even though there's a fire ban. So I wanted to tell you guys what the sheriff said. People will say to him, they go up and shoot all the time and they do it every year and it's no problem and they're safe. Well, a spark can fly off of the gun and get down into that duff. So think about this. We've all seen a spark fly off, right? And we look at the ground and it looks like it's gone out. It could go down into the duff and start a fire somewhere else. But not all fires are started by people. A lot of them are started by lightning, and there are lightning strikes every afternoon. So, like a lot of you guys, I'm out there in the National Forest trying to find places to camp, and it's been a little bit tough this year because I will plan on being someplace for a few days and then the wind will shift or a new fire will pop up and my plans change. In fact, right now I'm at a campground just outside of Telluride, which is really great. Pretty soon I'll give you guys a tour of this place. It works for me. It was worth going and paying for a campground for a few days so I could stop searching. Now, if all of you guys are on the road, look at Google Maps, do that search. I just did a video on staying at scenic overlooks, trailheads and rest areas. Check that out because, you know, if you're on route to a new place, maybe that will help you too. But I wish everybody at Travelers CampFest the best. Thank you for putting on the event. I hope I get to see you next year. And everybody out there, happy travels and be free.